It is such a great moment. Once again, we are here. Thank you so much for following, subscribing, liking, and you're the best. Thank you. For those following us for the very first time, if you're joining us for this program today, you're most welcome. You make me glad. You're such a great customer. Thank you for choosing to look here and to follow up here. Yeah, my name is Joy, and I'm so humbled and privileged to be sharing these topics with you. We are continuing with that major topic, which is service mentality. And we have been talking about very many things under service mentality, and among them, recently we tackled customer care, we tackled preparing for the customer. Yeah, and now today, I love what we are going to be talking about. It says, know your customer. Ooh, if I were you right there, I would be smiling. You cannot talk about knowing someone and you are gloomy. I told you this topic of customer care. No wonder I'm always smiling, because that is who I am. I love customers. I love caring for people. I love, relating with people. And I am here to share with you that experience, because I told you from the beginning that we are in service, and basically service is about people. Service is about relationships with people. Yeah. So thank you so much for loving the program, and thank you for following. I request that you ask some people to also join in, Don't just enjoy this alone. It is important that we connect other people to actually follow. Okay. Now, know your customer. Very, very, very important ingredient in customer care. And when we talk about know your customer, it comes with a package. It is not just knowing your name. It goes beyond that. It means being able to identify someone, to personalize someone by not just their name, but by their likes, by their tastes, by the seasons, by so many things, It is a whole package. So you cannot say you know me by the name Joy and you think you know everything about me. It is beyond my name. And today we are going to see how important is it to know me, and to know what I like, and to know how I like it, and to know the season I'm in as a customer, and to know what exactly I would love to have from your side, It is so important, because when you know me, you are able to serve me better. When you know me, it means you are relating with me. Remember, we talked about something called rapport, creating an everlasting relationship, creating not just a one-off relationship, yeah? There are those customers you meet at once, and probably you never meet them again. But when you have related with them for a longer time, you come to connect with them all the time. So there are those that come in once in a while, and then there are those ones that keep coming in. But it is not automatic for a customer to keep coming in. It is work that you, a service provider, you work at it by some of the things that we are sharing today. I told you last time that you prepare for the customer. People don't like to come to your place or to your shop or to your home or to the ministry, wherever. Remember, we have different customers here that we are talking about, and they don't want to come to you and you look disorganized. Now, that was one of the parts. But now we are talking about knowing me as a customer, relating with me as a customer, knowing what I like as a customer. Let me tell you, people out there are not only looking for the product, they're also looking for a relationship. Do you know there are people who go to certain places to buy certain things, not because those places have everything. Those places, they have created a relationship with them. I'll give my own example. I have to share my stories with you people out there. I remember some time back, I used to work with a corporate company, and we had this privilege of having our health care, those cards, AAR, insurance, medical. I had an opportunity where my family would also enjoy the the medical services. But, you know, with AAR, it's almost everywhere, especially in the city center, in different hospitals. And personally, I used to go to some hospital in Nansana with my AAR card and my entire family. There's by then, by the way, it was even just a clinic. I would go there for medical attention. And sometimes my colleagues would ask, where are you? Which hospital are you? And I'm telling them, I'm this side, Nansana. And they're telling me, wait a minute, does that place have insurance? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, why haven't you gone to maybe other places, you know, other bigger places or other well-known places around that town that also have the AAR services, you know? And I would always tell them, I love that clinic. I love that it was a small, simple clinic. It was not like having all these very big buildings. Thank God now they have developed to bigger buildings. And but I would go there. Why? Because the moment I would reach, even from the gate, the gatemen would, by now they knew me. So they would say, oh, you're welcome, Mama Paxton. And I would be like, wow, they know me here. And then by the time I reach the reception, I don't have to explain, okay, now my age, my what. No, they know me already, you know, because I'd been there for some time. So I was comfortable going there, even if it was a smaller facility. So that is what it means when you know your customer. They'll always run to you, you know. So I would go there and immediately I would reach there. Sometimes I wouldn't even have to present my card because they know me. So the people at the reception would just come in and, you know, enter my name and say, now today, Madam Joy, who is down? You've come with Paxton, or you've come with Palmer, or you've come with, you know, Prosper, you know, my children. So they would just know, okay, what's the problem today? Is it the allergy again? You know, when someone knows you, you relate quickly. You feel like you're at home, you know. It feels like, oh, this person, I am comfortable. You fall right into their palms when they know you. That is how important customer care is when you know the customer. Many times also, there are many times you go to a shop. I believe there are places you have personalized. You go to that particular shop at that town. You go to that particular petrol station. You go to that particular mobile money. You go to that particular maybe hospital. You go to that particular why? Because you feel now they know you. There are some of those details that you don't have to explain when you arrive. You know, if it's a shop, they actually know even your taste. They know, that one normally takes maybe the different, if they are different, let's say different products, you know, they'll say that one doesn't take maybe let's say Colgate Herbal. They take Colgate, the black one, you know, something like that. So they don't even wait for you to give your preference at that time. That makes you fall back to them all the time. That is how important knowing your customer is. You create a permanent relationship such that they feel so comfortable they cannot run anywhere else. It is important, child of God. To know people is important. And just don't know them by just their name. Because, for instance, you know when someone calls your name like you're on the street and they say, Joy, there's a way you respond. Sometimes you may not turn, or you'll turn and think like, there are many Joys around, probably they are not saying me. Then someone else calls you, Nagitta, and you're like, Oyateko kubanga, that one knows me from either my school, from either she's my OG or my OB, or they know me from my village, you know, something like that, or they are related to me. And then also someone could call you by Bikumbi, for example. Me, I'm Joy Nagitta Bikumbi. Someone could call you by, hey, Bikumbi, or they even add, oh, Mrs. Bikumbi. Then you know, okay, this one now knows me by status. They know me maybe from church. They've just met me a few years. Now they know me by Mrs. because they have related to my spouse's name. So, you know, knowing your customer is such a personalized thing that someone feels attached to you. Yeah? Someone feels connected. They will run to your service just because you know them. Now, let me even tell you this. They will feel obliged to come and buy from you because you know them. Have you had this experience where, for example, at your maybe neighborhood, there's a shop and you always buy from that shop, and therefore that person from that shop knows you, so they even know your children, to the extent of knowing your children. So sometimes you don't have to go by yourself. When you send, for example, when I send my son to the nearest shop where we normally buy certain things from, the attendant there will say, oh, how is your mother? Is it your mother that has sent you? And maybe if my son has gone, let's say, with 10,000 and they are buying something of maybe 2,000, they'll easily identify and tell them, but you know what? Your mom normally doesn't buy things of 5K. I think you're mistaken. She must have sent you for something of 3,000. You see, because they know their customer to that extent. And it helps you connect. You're obliged to buy there. Even if this person is not having everything, you will feel, you whom they know, you'll feel ashamed to go to the next shop because you'll feel like, this person knows I am here and I always buy here. So you are tied to buy from them because they know you. So child of God who is there, it is important for you to know the people that you are serving, to know the people you are working with, to know the people God has given you, to know the people that are in your reach. It is important. God knows us. I always refer you to God because He's my benchmark when I'm talking about service. I told you from the beginning that He shows us the entire picture of serving people. Amen. So God knows us by name. You know that. God calls you by your name. We see the different people even in the Bible. When He looked for the man called Saul, if you know that man. Yeah, we can get that one from, we can get that one from Acts chapter 9, verse 4. You realize that God calls Saul by his name. And He says, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? And Saul responded, because you know someone calls you by your name, and he just didn't tell him what he's supposed to do. He even told him what he was doing currently, you know. So that's how important it is to know someone. When you know them in detail, you cannot miss them. You will capture them. You'll get their interest. You'll get their heart. You'll get their response. They'll definitely turn around and look towards the person who is calling them. It is that important to know people. Amen. And then when you look at Luke chapter 12 verse 7. Luke chapter 12 verse 7. Yeah, it gives us a clear picture of how God knows us in detail. It actually says, you know, God knows the number of hair that we have on our heads. Oh my God. You don't even know yourself that much. But imagine, the service provider knows you that much in detail. That means you are that valued. What does that mean in customer care? In customer care, when you know someone in detail, that means you value that customer. It does not stop at just when they come to you. It means I want to know you in detail. You mean so much to me. So knowing your customer or knowing someone in detail means I am valued. It means you have personalized me. You can identify me and I can relate with you in detail. Is it godly? Yes, it is godly. It is the devil today trying to change around things where people have this kind of talk. Twako abantu tetwagala kumanya. Have you identified yourself with such talks? That means you don't want to know. And if you don't want to know, your service will be corrupted and compromised. We need to know the people we are serving in detail. When you know people in detail, it will help you serve them better. You will know exactly what they want. You will know exactly how to handle them. When you know my temper, when you know my approach, when you know my speed, when you know my lifestyle, yeah, it will be easy for you to actually serve me. And as you're serving me from the point of knowing me, for me, I'll call it customer care. I hope you're getting something from that today. Amen. And I'm going to relate with a number of people in the different in the Bible, or with different personalities, and you see how they got to know people. Is this godly? Yes, it is godly to know people. So pastor out there, you need to know the sheep. So minister out there, you need to know the people. Shop attendant, you need to know the people who come to you. Are you at the gate? You need to know the different people that park in that slot. And not just knowing them, like I say, go and find out in detail. You know, it will help you relate with them better. Today we are going to be also looking at, not maybe today, maybe in another session, we shall be looking at how people like Apostle Paul worked out their ministry. Because if you relate with them, they actually knew people in detail. We look at Jesus, he knew people in detail, and so forth. But today I want to challenge you, as I'm closing here today for now. How much do you know people? How much are you interested in knowing people? It is an investment. It requires time. It requires you to go an extra step to know, to find out what's the name. How many children does this person have? Where did they go to school? I mean, depending on how you are working with them, or depending on the kind of service you're giving them. It is not like lugezgezi, or that thing like wiseacking, or like wanting to know in detail without a reason. No, you must be a service provider to this person, and then you're able to relate with them. I'm telling you, your relationship will grow to another level when you know someone in detail. Your service will be better when you know me in detail. You will be looked at as a customer care representative because you have known me. You know the seasons. You know that at such a time, when children have gone back to school, this is what happens to my customers. At such a time, when it is a peak time, when it is a season for celebrations, this is what happens. At such a time, when they are going through, they have lost someone, this is what happens. So when you know me, you will relate with me better, and I will be definitely drawn to your service. You will be a magnet when you know people. I hope you've got something today. I am coming back next time to share with you in detail in part 2, because this is a wide thing that we need to exhaust if we are going to handle people and make our services excellent. Know your customer is very important. Not just having the product, but knowing who to give the product, when to give the product, how to give the product, why to give the product, and that is the entire package of knowing the people you are serving. Thank you so much for watching. I believe you will continue following. Please don't miss the next part. Very, very important. I love you. God bless you. My name is Joy.